Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Reporter's Notebook. My name is Emily Severage. I'm here in the digital studio, and for those of you who have not watched Reporter's Notebook before, it's where we get an opportunity to sit down with our reporters at the end of the day after they've been out doing stories for the day for our broadcast, and we get to sit and chat with them about, go a little deeper, into the stories that they covered for today and just talk about the daily life of being a reporter here at WNCT. So today I'm joined by Kelsey O'Donnell. I'm gonna pull her up real quick. Hey, Kelsey. Kelsey
Hi.
is joining us from Skype. Kelsey is a dayside reporter and a digital reporter like myself, so you guys have probably seen her here in the digital studio as well throughout the week, giving some updates, things like that. So she's definitely a familiar face. And Kelsey does a segment every Friday that I think is the highlight of our Friday newscast. It's called Feel Good Friday. So bring some positivity. Woo! I know, I love it. Bring some positivity, for your Friday at the end of the week, going into the weekend. Just some great stories that she finds earlier in the week that just, make you feel good. So Kelsey, talk to us a little bit about some of the stories that you were able to pull for today.
Yes. So today we had a pretty packed show. Show on my point. I like to call it my little Feel Good Friday show. I did start things off today with we were out over in Belgium. I wasn't there specifically. There was a reporter that sent in some stuff. But they are now creating face masks with your own face on them. So it's a 3D, some sort of a printing company. I'm not 3D, but they lay it over the masks. And so you take a picture of it at first and then have your own personal mask. So I love that one with the girl sticking her tongue out. I think this is such a fun idea because it's hard to see people with, you don't exactly know what they're saying. Maybe if it's someone who you've only seen a few times, you don't recognize them as much. So this kind of helps to personalize it a little bit and help combat the coronavirus a little bit, make it a little bit easier while you're going through and trying to stay safe and healthy.
Definitely. I love that idea because I know, I'm one of those people that when I'm out, grocery shopping or just out and about, I'm one of those people that I just smile at people when I walk past. So when I
I'm the
wear the
same way.
mask, when I wear the mask, I'm like, oh, maybe, they think that I'm like not being friendly. You
Well,
can't tell
I still do it under my
I
mask,
do
and I'm
too,
like,
and then
oh
I'm like,
crap.
they can't see me.
When I walk away, yeah, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I
but
guess
that's
people
such a
can't.
great idea because, especially at a time right now, you want some positivity. It's nice. You want to see people smiling and saying hello and still being friendly, especially during a difficult time. So that's a really awesome idea. I might have to get myself one because that's
I think I
really
will
cute.
too. You'll see it on air or something.
Yeah. I love that. And then you did a story today as well about a doctor who is going out in I'm going to pull it up, this video. It is so cool. In his decked out sports car that he made look like Lightning McQueen.
Yes.
So talk to me about what he's going out and doing.
So this is so cool. I found this story on, I believe it was Latitude through one of our Next Star stations. This is a doctor who's doing home visits because of the coronavirus. Some people are unable to come in or do fear coming into doctor's offices. So he's taking basically and going to their own homes on their front porch, doing home visits as well as vaccinations. So he had a red Corvette that he decked out like Lightning McQueen from the Pixar movie Cars, the animated movie. And he basically was saying this makes it so much more fun and easy, especially if he's doing at-home visits for children who maybe are afraid of vaccination. So he'll bring them out and rev the engine. There is some, I'm not sure if you can hear it in this at all, but there's a part in the video that his car actually talks like Lightning McQueen. So he can just hit a button and it'll say whatever Lightning McQueen's famous sayings are or something. It's really cute, but I do love this idea, the fact that he's going to people's homes and it's just a lighter way to, have a doctor's visit that may not be as enjoyable as you would have hoped.
Exactly. I love that idea. I didn't have the sound in there, but I would have loved to hear that talking
It's
car.
cute.
That is the coolest thing ever. If I was a kid And I mean, I don't care if you're my doctor or not, but you rolled up to my house with a talking Lightning McQueen car. I would have lost it. That's the
He's the
coolest thing
coolest doctor ever
ever.
in my eyes already. So
Yes, I want to be his patient. That is so cool. Even though I'm like, 24, I want to see that car. Like, that's awesome.
yes.
That's so great. And like you said, that definitely, I'm sure that makes, the kids that have to have these visits, especially again during a difficult time, it makes it a little better, a little more lighthearted
Right.
for them. It doesn't scare them as much, seeing your doctor roll up in such a cool car from one of your favorite movies. I mean, you can't beat that. That is awesome.
Those aren't the only two stories though. So Feel Good Friday, we always
Yes.
have a bunch of stories. What's on the broadcast tonight in a little bit, it should be around 5:40. There's 3 stories in there, so you'll catch 2 of these and another one, but there's also more online at WNCT.com it's now under our live stream tab. It used to be under online originals, but we moved to the live stream tab. That way it's easier to find. You can just click on Feel Good Friday, but it is fun. I've got other stories. Aaron Dean helped out with this week for the Koinonia Church, giving out some food tomorrow, which is really cool. So they're always fun each week, and I love it because they're always different. So
Exactly. And what gave you the idea to come up with this segment? Because I mean, it's not a segment that a lot of different news stations have, and you were able to actually come up with this on your own and say,
Right.
like, you wanted to bring some positivity. So how'd you come up with this?
So this kind of sparked, I guess it was back in March when the coronavirus started. I came in and was just kind of down in the dumps, and I was like, oh, there's so much negative news with just everything. We had just gotten done with I'm not sure if you remember the Kobe Bryant stuff in February, and then we moved into the coronavirus right away in March, that everything just seemed so negative. And I was talking to our news director, Bernie, and our executive producer, Matt, and was like, hey, I would love to pull together something where I'm encouraging positivity or showing the good light in the world rather than just having all of these negative news stories, which I know a lot of people think of the news as negative, but it's news. You got to present what's out there right now. So it was really cool. They gave me the green light, and I have been on the search ever since then, and do a weekly segment every Friday, just filled with positive news stories. It can be Instagram videos, local news stories, anything. I love doing TikToks. So if people have hilarious TikToks, especially healthcare related, I love to see what people do in their jobs, and just spread some sort of joy and let people know that, hey, we're not all negative. We want you to see the good light and kick off your weekend on the right foot. So that's how it all sparked.
I'm so glad you came up with that idea, because it really, I mean, even I know it definitely, impacts people at home, makes them feel good. But even here in the newsroom, I mean, every morning during our morning meetings, every time we get to Kelsey in the lineup, everyone's like, woo, Feel Good Friday, let's
I love
go.
It. Well, that makes me feel good too, because I know that I don't do this for me. There are certain days, like even this morning, I was like, oh man, it's another Friday. But hey, I know that there are people out there that rely on good news, and you need sometimes to pick me up. It could just be like standing up there and smiling. It's something that I know people need, and I love doing that to help out with the community a little bit more.
I love that. I'm so proud of you for putting that together.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Thank you.
And like Kelsey said, she's always looking, throughout the week for positive stories. So if you're watching this and you have a positive story or a video or a cute, clip or something that happened throughout the week, we can tag her social media below, look her up on social media, and send those her way. She would,
Please,
love,
please,
yeah.
yes.
She wants
I
all
love
the stuff she
featuring
can get.
local people. Yes, more local, the better. I obviously love the national stuff, but I love when, and I'm always head over heels when someone is to email in and say, hey, I've got this really cool positive story. So
exactly.
Please do.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kelsey, for this edition of Reporter's Notebook. Again, guys, you can go check out longer versions of her Feel Good Fridays. She posts them every Friday on our website under the live streams, like she said, and they air on Friday at 5:30 in our broadcast. And then she'll put the longer versions online with a couple more stories, a couple more feel-good stories in there. And if you have ideas, send them her way. We're always looking. She's always looking for some great stories to add in for the end of the week. So if you want to see yourself or see, something that you were involved in that made you happy and share it with the rest of the world, send it over to Kelsey. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And Kelsey, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me today. I will see you later. Have a great rest of your Friday, everybody.